Unusual, remembering an amendment that did not make it into the Constitution.
The Equal Rights Amendment was passed by Congress 45 years ago today, but never got approval from enough states to make it the law of the land. Matt King in the newsroom now to tell us about a renewed effort to get that amendment on the books now. Mac.
Yeah, Derry, Steve, there is some precedent for this. Congress sent the 27th Amendment to states for ratifications in 1789 and waited more than 200 years for all the states to ratify it. But unlike that amendment, the Equal Rights Act came with an expiration date. In 1923, 3 years after Congress gave women the right to vote, suffrage leader Alice Paul introduced the Equal Rights Amendment, which would officially extend the rights of the Constitution to American women. Nearly 50 years later, after women spent decades marching and rallying and campaigning, Congress passed the ERA and gave the states 7 and then 10 years to ratify it. Over that next decade, only 35 of the requisite 38 states did so. And so the ERA lingered in amendment limbo, and the Constitution remained unchanged.
The exclusion of women, half the population, from the Constitution has dire consequences.
But on Wednesday, nearly a year after Congresswoman Carolyn Maloney gave this speech before the U.S. House of Representatives, and 45 years after the ERA passed in Congress, Nevada ratified the amendment, making it the first state in 40 years to do so, and perhaps leaving the ERA just 2 states away from finally amending the Constitution.
In order for the amendment to become law, there are 2 major legal obstacles.
New York Law School professor of law Danica Wertzman specializes in constitutional law and identifies the first of those obstacles as that deadline Congress set for 3/4 of the states to ratify the ERA, and the states' failure to meet it.
The second major obstacle is that 5 of the 36 states that have ratified the amendment have actually gone back and rescinded their ratifications.
The legal effect of those ratifications remains unclear, requiring some institution to officially and legally resolve these questions.
What I expect is that it will be up to Congress to make those decisions.
The National Organization for Women crafted what it called a 3-state strategy to see the ERA ratified, and on Wednesday, its president renamed that tactic a 2-state strategy, declaring Nevada's decision a ringing declaration of support for the explicit guarantee of constitutional rights for women. The failure of the framers to include women in our nation's founding documents is a constitutional failure that has long demanded correction.
Without the ERA, there is little to do. There is no recourse to fight gender discrimination when it does exist.
Alabama, Arizona, Arkansas, Florida, Georgia, Illinois, Louisiana, Mississippi, Missouri, North Carolina, Oklahoma, South Carolina, Utah, and Virginia are the remaining states that have yet to ratify the ERA. Steve, Derek?
Guessed most of that list, actually. Interesting. All right, thank you.